I wanted to talk a little bit about relying on spiritual mentor today. I've been reading Geshe Sopa's Stages on the Path to Enlightenment, and also I've been reading a little bit on the anthology of well-spoken advice on the graded path of the mind, and that's by Geshe Nawang Darje. And it strikes me that most all of the texts from many of the masters really put so much emphasis on relying on our spiritual master. And one of the quotes in Geshe Narwang Darje book, he quoted Potawa, who was one of the three main students of Dromtonpa. He wrote, "If we need a teacher to show us something like carpentry, how much more so do we need one to show us how to attain a state of clear evolvement, especially if we have just arrived out of the three worst states of wandering rebirth." And then Geshe Narwang Darje wrote, "It is essential to have a mentor and guide to lead us personally through our spiritual journey. Our attitude towards him or her is very important. We must have proper respect and wholehearted commitment." And I think this is especially important if you've been raised in the West, because we have such a strong identity of being individual and figuring it out by ourselves. And I think that can really influence then our progress. And certainly in the years that I've been practicing, when I've not taken seriously my teacher's advice, if I look back, I see how my progress has stopped, or I get off track, I get off kind of on a sidebar. And so in most of the books there's 8 commonly listed benefits of holding such an attitude, so I'll just read them and just listen to how your mind reacts to them. We will come closer to a state of evolvement or transformation. We will please all the triumphant ones, the highly realized beings. We will become impervious to misleading friends. Our disturbing attitudes and faulty behavior will be curtailed. We will gain ever higher levels and paths of the mind, as well as meditative experiences and stable realizations. We will never have a poverty of spiritual mentors in all future lives. We will not fall to any of the worst states of wandering rebirth, and all our temporary and ultimate goals will be realized. This is a pretty powerful list. Yeah. And so my part of my reaction to that is, oh yeah, I don't know. So again, I think that reaction, when I look into my mind, what is it saying? A lot of what it says is, what it thinks is, I can figure this out myself, or, you don't really know me, or no one knows me like I know myself. I think that's the strongest one in my mind. And all of those really are my self-centered attitude speaking. That's what that is. It all comes from self-centered attitude. So my task is to believe wholeheartedly everything my teacher tells me to do, that it is aimed at bringing me closer to Buddhahood. And when I don't listen, I am going in the opposite direction. And as Geshe Narwang Darje writes, committing ourselves wholeheartedly to our spiritual mentor and friend is one of the best methods for building up a bountiful store of positive potential. As a result of our commitment, we become strong in our spiritual practice. And this is what actually protects us from negative influences. And as long as I have ignorance, anger, attachment in my mind, I am under the influence of negative influences, whether I like that or not, that's what is. So by aligning myself with my teacher, even when I don't understand it, even when it, my self-centered attitude is pushing against that, I think really that is a very strong insurance for my progress in this life and future lives.